Hey guys, this is Ernie Schromeyer, certified personal trainer and medical exercise specialist from Ernie's fitnessworld.com. I wanted to give you a glimpse at how I set up programs for when I meet with people. And if you're reading my fitness solutions column in the Hamilton Spectator, today I wrote about my journey and what I've been going through. So this is what I do when I first meet with a client. The very first thing we do in our interview is that we set up what's called a yearly schedule. And I think this is where I'm different from other trainers is if you go to the gym, usually the trainer starts with teaching the exercises and goes from there. For me, the very last thing we do is actually decide on what exercise to do. The first thing we do is set up a big yearly schedule. So if you see the different phases here, I had shoulder surgery in April, so right around here. For a couple of months before I had surgery, I did what's called Rehab. So that means I was working on modified strength training and conditioning and building up as much muscle around my shoulder as possible. I was having rotator cuff repaired and a biceps tendon repaired, and then debriding or cleaning out an arthritic joint. So I was building up as much strength and endurance and as much muscle as possible around the joint for stability. When I had the operation in April, that immediately took me to my next phase, which was rehab, so rehabilitation. And for me, that meant doing passive range of motion exercises. So my operated arm was being moved by my healthy arm a couple times a day, and nothing more than that, just letting it recover and rebuild itself, and then doing some passive range of motion. What came next for me after about 6 weeks was active range of motion. That's where my arm was out of my sling and I was moving the arm to the side, to the front, and in different directions using my own strength, and that was tough. Let me tell you. 2 to 3 weeks of that, and then we started physiotherapy. So I found an incredible physiotherapist that's been working with me, and she's helped me to develop a strength training program to rebuild some of the deficits that have been left after having surgery. And in particular, in my case, my shoulder had a great range of motion, but my shoulder blades, my scapula, were not working properly because they had lost a lot of strength and conditioning. So this becomes a very active part of the rehabilitation process, and a little bit more pain because I'm actually moving. Following that, so when I'm finished with physiotherapy, that's going to be sometime near the end of July, I'm going to go into about 12 weeks of what I call conditioning. So conditioning here, it's rebuilding the strength and the fitness of my whole body, because I haven't done a real workout in several months. So this means I'll be strength training, returning to the gym, and then if you notice from June all the way up until October, part of what I'm doing is modifying my nutrition to lose body fat. A really common thing after surgery is gaining weight, and I gained about 12 pounds of, I'm going to assume that's fat. So I'm working to lose body fat in that 12-week period, okay? Part of that is going to be modifying my diet and then just getting back to a training program. When I get finished with conditioning, that's about the 6-month mark after surgery. And that's at the point where someone can expect a full return to sports. So at that point, I will move into a phase that I call possibility. And that means rather than just having a joint that's been repaired and now I'm going to maintain it, I want to think about what I can do and what are some of the possibilities and how far can I take myself. So for me, that's going to mean a return to sports. I'm going to be training for performance, because at that point, I'm not going to be rehabilitating anymore. I'm done. So for me, it's going to mean mountain biking, playing hockey, and then continuing with my personal training. Okay, so just a little bit of an inside view of how I set up programs with clients. We never ever start with the workout. We always start with the plan. The plan determines what we should be doing. And the really significant thing here is that whatever plan you have, it has to be progressive. So you can see I've gone from prehab to rehab to conditioning to possibility and sports training. So it all flows from one to the next, and nothing can happen until the previous phase has taken place. Okay, so continue reading Fitness Solutions in the Hamilton Spectator every Wednesday. Check out erniesfitnessworld.com. Follow me on Twitter and like me on Facebook, and have a great day, guys.